Good day, my name is Anicham Kumanan, and in this presentation, I will be discussing the use of assessment for learning or AFL within the context of corporate control. This presentation focuses on how formative assessments strategies can be integrated into higher education to support student learning, engagement, and its continuous improvement, particularly within a corporate governance module. To begin, this module is situated within the area of corporate governance organizations. The key learning outcome for this lesson is for students to describe the functions of corporate boards and to explain different forms of corporate governance. The lesson involves discussion around board responsibilities, stakeholders' roles, and governance structures. Given the conceptual and applied nature of this topic, assessment for learning is particularly suitable in supporting deeper understanding and critical engagement. Assessment for learning refers to assessment practices that actively involve students in learning processes. Rather than being used solely to measure achievements, AFL provides continuous feedback that helps students understand where they are in their understanding and how they can improve. The ultimate goal of AFL is to encourage students to reflect on their learning and to take ownership of their academic progress, which is especially important in higher education contexts. The first AFL strategy used in this module is peer assessment. In this activity, students review and comment on how their peers have analyzed corporate governance case studies. Through structured feedback, students are encouraged to evaluate governance ideas, identify trends, and suggest areas to improve. This approach supports the learning outcome by developing critical thinking skills and enhancing student understanding for governance structures through collaborative learning. The second AFL strategy involves the use of reflective journals. Students complete weekly reflection based on governance topic covered in the class. They are asked to reflect on key learning points, connect theory to real-world governance, and identify areas where improvement is needed. This strategy promotes self-reflection and encourages students to internalize governance principles, supporting meaningful learning beyond surface understanding. Feedback plays a central role in assessment for learning. In this module, feedback is provided immediately through quizzes and reflective journals, as well as formatively during discussions after the assessment. This ongoing feedback cycle supports continuous improvement and helps students gradually develop stronger analytical skill in corporate governance. Evidence of learning is collected through several formative sources. This include peer and self-assessments, reflective journal entries, and quiz responses with participation records. This data allows the lecturer to monitor student progress, identify areas where learning is developing well, and recognize where additional support or instructional adjustment may be required. Once evidence is collected, it is carefully evaluated. Peer feedback is reviewed to identify common trends and shared insight. Reflective journals are analyzed to assess critical thinking and real-world application of governance concept. Importantly, all assessments are constructively aligned with the learning outcomes of the module, ensuring coherence between teaching, learning, and also assessments. Despite its benefit, implementing AFL also presents challenges. One challenge is low student participation in reflective activities. This is addressed by incorporating interactive group discussion to encourage engagement. Another challenge is the time required to provide detailed feedback. So to manage this, clear rubrics are used to streamline grading and feedback while maintaining the quality. In conclusion, the use of assessment for learning strategies such as peer assessment, reflective journals, and quizzes support active learning in higher education. These strategies encourage deeper understanding of corporate governance principle and promotes student engagement. Ultimately, AFL empowers students to self-regulate their learning and take responsibility of their academic development. Thank you for listening.